For us, we don't think like that. We think on our standards, and we obviously looked at the past 4 games that we played, and we were supposed to have an extra week of holiday, and we believe that we didn't hit the standards that we wanted to hit. So the focus has solely been on us, and we all know as players that we could have been much better in so many ways. We've played far better than that and been far more physical than that. So the focus is solely on us and getting on the standards that we know as a team we can get to. So we focus on them on looking at what they've done in the past and also studying their players, see what they can bring. But the most important thing is for me to go out there and be the best that I've ever been in a Springbok jersey.
Yeah, I think with Jan Hendrik, I think he was just unlucky in one of the sessions where he just got a knock. So we just wanted to be safe and not take a risk on him. And then Buan also has been with the squad for a couple of weeks now, and he's been doing very, very well and fitting in nicely when it comes to the system and how we want to operate. And the nice thing about him and Dan as our scrum coach, they've got a good working relationship. They've done work with him since their young age, so which is good. So yeah, we just wanted to be safe in the sense of Jan Hendrik just had a knock in the training session. And regarding the opportunity with that we were going to go 6-2 or 5-3, I think there were a couple of, maybe 2 positions where we had slashed some of the players when it comes to team selection. So, but once again, the squad we've selected at 23, I think it's a good squad that is good enough for us to make sure that they go and do the job for us. You know, it's going to be a tough game, different game compared to what we've already faced, you know, talking about Italy and Georgia. But I feel like the team that we've selected and all those guys, they deserve also their opportunity. So yeah, that's the thing. That's why we didn't go towards 6-2 split, you know. But we thought the 5-3 will be good enough for us to handle the game for us. And we know the challenge that's coming. Australia is a side that can give you tough times when it comes to ball in hand and give you a lot of challenges. So that's why we preferred to go for that 5-3 split with the Boks.
Yeah, my role has changed a little bit just on set piece, both line out and scrum. But other than that, I'm still doing my normal job, and breakdown is a focal point. They're very good at it. I think it helps them in a lot of ways when they do. You know, Fraser McWright is really good, and then there's a couple of other players who get in on the ball. So myself and Marco and Peter Steff have a job in our hand, but the rest of the team is all there. So that's still going to be my focus point in making sure that we do win the break. When we have the ball, we can keep the ball in hand and obviously try and slow down their ball or steal a couple of their balls too. No, it is important. And I think that's why you see so many players getting opportunities, because injuries can happen, and it's unfortunate, as you saw with Jan this weekend. And that's why players, when they get opportunities, we want to make sure, you know, when we're in training camps, you know, that group gets to be the best they can be, and you want to train against the best guys as well, and you go into the game, you make it tougher. So trainings have been much tougher against each other, and it's been brutal against each other at times, especially in set piece for us as forwards. And the mindset has changed. We want to be the best all the time. We've never wanted that. It's never been a goal to say, no, we just want to focus on World Cups, because anything can happen in a World Cup. So everything in between, and also being number one makes a difference. You know, being number one in the world when it comes to the World Cup pools and stuff, that also makes a difference. So our mindset is definitely to try and win every single game, but also building squad depth, because that helps a lot in the long run. I think injuries, like obviously Yahweh being injured and stuff, you know, but I think it helped me a lot playing at 8 at the Sharks. Coach Plum, you know, at the Sharks sees me as an 8. He told me that from the first time we had a meeting. He said he wanted me to play at 8. And I think here roles are different, and you know, I'm not your Jasper kind of 8th man, you know, or Dwayne in a big body, but I've got my own way and I've got my own skills, so I'm going to focus on that. I'm not going to try and be somebody else. And like I said, role doesn't change much. I'm still going to be playing towards the ball, looking after the breakdown, getting carries where I can. Myself and Marco will just talk and chat in the game and see how it goes. But rugby is rugby at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point Siya also mentioned earlier on. We've got standards that we've set for ourselves. We've got goals that we've set for ourselves. And for us to be able to maintain those goals, and to be the best in the world, not only during the World Cup year, throughout all the games that we played, and we know the people of South Africa, when the Springboks are playing, it's just a different vibe, so we don't take it for granted. We want to be the best in the world. We want to stay there on top of the world. And the other thing is that with the way we want to develop our game, you can see with the input of Tony Brown, we want to, it's clear for everyone to see that we want to play the fast game, and you can see even with probably most of our forwards now that probably in the past, you won't see them passing the ball around, and all of a sudden now there's a lot of ball players around the field, So we want to develop our game, and fitness is part of that goal. And once again, you want to be the best in the world, If you want to compete against Australia, you want to compete against the All Blacks, you want to compete against Ireland, your players have to be fit enough, to handle whatever challenges we're going to face from the opposition. And once again, if I touch on Australia, you've seen probably the last two games against the British and Irish Lions. The second last game, they could have won the game. They've lost probably in the last seconds of the game. They've managed to win the last one. So they probably also in a good space as a team in that changing room. So it's going to be a tough challenge. When you talk about ball in play time, that's why you need your players to be fit. So yeah, we're still getting there. I don't think we're at our best, but we're still getting there. So fitness-wise, yes, it's one of the biggest things when it comes to what we want to achieve as a team. Yeah, I think it's our job as coaches, to make sure that you do your job very well and research. The moment they've made that call that Nick White is not going to retire, we knew already we have to make sure that we focus on what challenges can he bring on. Or we know we played against him many times, and it was clear for us the fact that he didn't retire, so they had a plan that they're going to use him. So for us as coaches, we've already planned on Nick White playing the game. And James O'Connor, experienced player, and you can tell their mindset. They want to come here, they want to use probably the most experienced brains when it comes to their system, and and it comes with a different challenge. He's one of the best when it comes to kicking game, and also when it comes to his leadership in that team, he's got a massive impact in that team. So yeah, we knew that chances of he was going to play, so we were always prepared for him.
No, obviously there's a lot of nerves, but I think they can take a lot of confidence of what they've done the last couple of years, and people can look at that they won the last game against the All Blacks 15, but I've seen how they've just changed as a group, and how hard they are on set piece, how good they are on scrums. They've got things that matter the most. They are capable of doing it. It's all about putting it together in a game, and I think they take confidence in what they've done in the past couple of games. And I don't know, I just have a feeling that we're going to see them make history by reaching at the playoffs. I know they've got a tough pool. They've got Italy, where I think they could have won that game, and one or two mistakes, but they're a better team than they were when they played in the W15. So I'm looking forward to about what they're about to do. And the people of South Africa, they definitely should get behind them as they got behind us. They're growing, and they give everything. I've seen, and they're hungry to get better, and they chat to us, they ask questions, going to the session. It means a lot to them. So I'm looking forward to see what they're about to do.
We love them and we support them, and they must know that we are behind them. We support them with everything, and it was great to see when they played at Athlone Stadium in Cape Town, the vibe, the people that came out to support them. And like we always say, we are 100% behind them. And it's good to see now people that are also now starting to be behind the ladies, Watch from TV when they were playing the vibe at Athlone, it was just another level. And once again, like I always say, the more games they play in front of big crowd, also as a main curtain raiser towards the test match rugby, which is I'm talking about the Springboks, that was something nice for me to see, so I'm not sure who makes the call, if it's World Rugby or it's SA Rugby, that is something I think for the growth, we can't just talk the talk, it has to be action, and then we're starting to see the action now. Siya spoke about growth when it comes to how they're playing now as a team, and once again, I must give credit to their coaching staff, Swayze, Bafana, and everyone who's involved there in that team. They're doing a great job, and once again, we wish them all the best. We will be watching, we'll be supporting, and we appreciate what they do for the country.
It's actually not even about the leading part. It's just having the opportunity to put on the jersey, being part of this group. It's really, it's honestly, I can't explain it, but we know when guys are not here and they're injured or not being selected, all you want is to come back here. And it's not only just about rugby as well, because you miss playing. It's just a safe environment for us, and you feel accepted and you feel like part of the family, and you got people who've got your back at all times. And when you train with someone, when you bleed with someone, when you sweat with someone, when you see someone working really hard with you, you form a bond, you know. And then when you represent over 60 million South Africans, that's something that adds to that kind of privilege that we have. And rugby has always been that thing for me. It's helped me in so many ways since I was young. I loved it. I played it for the first time because I enjoyed it and I loved it, and it got me out of trouble. And then it started becoming more. It taught me. It got me out of a lot of trouble. And then the values of it kind of changed me. And then you have someone like Coach Rusty and Coach Sticks, who I watched, and I used to be water boy, and he played for the enemy club, and I saw him grow, and his route was different to mine. It's like Mampimpi's route. He went through the full township route, no bursaries, and then make it through that. You know, those are the people that we kind of look to because we see them and we're able to touch them. Mampimpi, same. He started very late playing rugby. So rugby has done far more than just the game itself. It's helped me also help the people in my community so that the next generation doesn't face the same kind of struggles. That's what we speak about, him starting his foundation too in his home community. We want to change, we want to use it to change. And it's also a place where I can let out whatever I'm dealing with, where a lot of men don't have spaces to talk to or to do, but we have a physical way of letting it out on the field where it's legal, where you can just, whatever you're feeling, you can channel it through that in a game. So it's a place of peace at the same time. It's a place of just be yourself, and all that you can do is give your best at that time. That's all you judged on, not on what you have or don't have, you know. So it means a lot to me and to represent South Africa. And I still do get butterflies, I still do get nervous. And when I don't have that, then I know something is wrong. Then I know my mind is not where it's supposed to be. And with a group like this, the competition that is here amongst each other as a team, if you put your foot off the pedal, the next guy will take your place. So while I still have a good body and lungs in my thing, I'm still gonna fight. And obviously the age is right, and I'm still feeling good. I'm still gonna fight each and every single day to try and have the opportunity to put on the jersey. Yeah, our talk has just been Australia tomorrow, and we can't think so far. I mean, they played against the British Irish Lions, and they were able to fight for the 2 games and win one at the end. So if we're thinking that far, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna kick ourselves in the foot. So we've got a big game tomorrow, and we know that, and we know what they want to do. We've been in the position that they've been in before, and we'll be foolish if we don't know how desperate they are, how much they want to win tomorrow against us. So our sole focus is Australia, and it's tomorrow. The next game in Cape Town, not worried about it. We're just focused on the challenge ahead of us, and which are focusing mostly on our standards. We were at our best at a certain time. We want to get all of us. And I think the past 4 games, there were glitz and moments of it that were there to show who we are as a Springbok team, but we have been given a full performance, you know, and you know what I'm talking about. The physical South African team where everything else can go wrong, but you can see the physicality of the team.
Sure. That will probably be the biggest mistake of anyone in our squad, you know. I'm talking about management. The moment you start becoming too comfortable in the system and talk about as a player and the coach, we can't pace a man. Like I said to you again, the decision that we take also even in the boardroom as coaches, we know that it's not only about us, it's also representing plus minus 63 million South Africans, you know. So we don't take anything for granted, my man. And I can tell you now one thing, you've asked Siya earlier on, does he still get I was disappointed you said butterflies. I thought you were going to say wonderflies. You know, even now, Siya in his position, they still get worried on a Sunday, you know, if am I in the team or not, you know, because of, once again, the competition amongst the players. You can see any chance when someone gets an opportunity. I'll use a good example, a guy like Edward van der Merwe, and I use a guy like Kenan Moody at the back, you know. whenever these guys, they get opportunities, they always perform. They've never let us down, you know. And then you talk about guys like Jesse, probably now at the moment, he's probably one of the best outside centers in the world consistently. I'm talking about the past 2 seasons, the way he's been playing for us. So once again, one thing that we appreciate as coaches, the more we get that competition amongst the players, the better it is for us as coaches, you know. And yeah, once again, I don't think there's a place for anyone to relax in the system. More especially when you know that all the teams that are going to be playing against us, you know, they're going to be desperate to make sure that they perform very well, you know. And we've been in that position in the past. When we were number 6 in the world, and then the All Blacks were number 1, what we wanted at that time was to win against the All Blacks. We knew that the people of South Africa will give us opportunity to say, okay, this team at least is going somewhere. So they're also in that space now at the moment. They've played well against the British and Irish Lions. They started slow, they picked it up. I think the second game, we all know that they could have won the game, you know, last seconds of the game. So there's no place for anyone to be relaxed in this system, you know. So yeah, we will always make sure that we work hard and make sure that whatever we do, we don't take it for granted.
For me personally, I try not read because I'm not strong enough to take that. I can't. Sometimes it does affect me, so I try and not read because there's always good and sometimes there's bad. You know, there's people in between. But the most important voice that I listen to is my coach, my coaching staff, and my teammates. And you know that. Yeah, because you can be looking for something else and you get someone saying that you're not good enough. And sometimes it does affect, and it affects me quite a lot. And so I've tried to stay away from that and look at facts and actually watch the game and study my opposition and see what they're capable of, you know. And I think that works a whole lot more for me, because you can say someone is not, or they're not good enough, or they're not ready, and then on the day they show up, you know. And also what they've done in the past too, I'll go and look at that too, because that helps me focus and gets me ready for the game, because I know what he's about to do, and watching the clips over and over gives me an idea, 50% chance or 60% chance that he might do that in the game. Oh, I've seen this before in the present. That's the most important thing, and that's what I try and tell guys who are coming up, say, focus on the people that matter, people that actually are going to coach you, are going to bring value in life, that really care. I'm not saying they mustn't listen to media, because it's important, because you guys help us with our stories and you help us get known, and you bring. And also when you're doing well, you tell our stories. When you're doing badly, you also have to tell your stories. So if you can take it, then read it, and if you can't, then don't read it. But for us, it's all about what the information we get from the coach. I actually don't have enough time to read, because the clips that we get to see and the amount of players that we have to study, it's too much for me to go and now add another layer.
I think from our side, I don't remember even in my playing days if it had a massive impact on me or not, you know. But once again, Kanyiso, it's real, it's there, you know. So that's why we've used Johannesburg as our base, you know. Even before the July series, you know, we've used this base for us to make sure that we prep well, you know. I'm not too sure about how they feel about it on the other side, but for us, we've done everything in our powers to make sure that we prepare well. We come in Joburg and get based there. Players get used to it. So yeah, from our side, I think we've done everything in our powers to make sure that we're ready. I'm not too sure about how they feel on the other side, but once again, probably after 80 minutes, it will tell after the game if it had an impact or not, you know. So yeah, from our side, we've done everything in our powers to make sure that we're ready for the game.
But it's all your fitness, of course, and also your mental strength. It gets to that, because we all get tired. I'm gonna get tired, they're gonna get tired too. It's all about us gonna be able to push through. But being here and camping here the whole time, it definitely helps. I know when I go home for a weekend and I come back and I have to train, I can feel the kick on Monday, even in taking 3 days off. So it does matter, but it won't win you the game if you don't use it well.